Okay, so we've loaded into a map. This is basically a miracle. Um, yeah, so here we are. Yeah, if Turin can, I mean, it would be awesome if he could delay their games. Otherwise, I don't know. I guess I just like cancel my tournament midway through and then we come back and finish later. Because, you know, that's just how things go. But anyway, we've got some Dark Elves and some Bretonnians here, so let's see what happens. Malice Darkblade going to be leading the way. Scourge Runner Chariot. Got ROR here as well. Some Dread Spears. Let's see here. Cold One Knights. Hey! The Dog 21 coming in with the $10 to try and cheer me up. Appreciate it, man. This week has just been kind of terrible, and then, like, the last few weeks, I'm going to be honest, have been just awful, and then this just kind of, like, sums up, like, how my life has been for the last 2 to 3 weeks. But hey, that's just kind of how it goes sometimes, right? Witch Elves, Sisters of Singing Doom, we've got Slaanesha's Harvesters, Sorceress Lord of Death up in the air. For Bretonnia here, as you would expect, lots of heavy cavalry. You've got Companions of Cornell, Grail Knights, Questing Knights here, yeah. Peasant mobs, peasant bowmen, pretty straightforward stuff. Already the spirit leeching going to be on the Companions of Cornell, of course. I would expect to see spirit leeching in all of the Scourge Runner shots and maybe even a Fate of Buna. Ooh, nasty damage there. Taking down quite a few unit models. That is a pretty expensive unit. We're going to see an Earthblood right off the bat, getting them a little bit of HP, healing. They have lost only, what, 7 unit models? A little bit less there, so should be okay. This damsel, she can actually kind of dodge some of these shots a little bit. Chariots are going to try and charge her. They'll do a little bit of charge damage there, but you're going to have to be careful not to get hammered by Lewin as he does a little bit of a drive-by here. He gets hit by one of those poison missiles. So, we'll see. Looks like those Grail Knights not going to fully commit to an engagement there. Those Cold One Knights actually could have potentially gotten a charge in, but yeah, with the Companions and Lewin, it's going to be a little bit dicey. This is a pretty good play, though, to kind of blob in here with Malice, start to tank out some of the damage with him a little bit. Then the Grail Knights come in, they get countercharged, so they do take quite a bit of damage. They do some decent damage on the return there, but that's definitely cost inefficient. Malice, though, uses that blood price. Going to do a bit of damage to himself, but potentially give him a damage increase against Lewin. It doesn't look like he's actually getting solid contact with Lewin, though. Just a little bit unfortunate. Doom and Darkness, upgraded. Going to terrify away some of those peasants, obviously, but it looks like the Grail Knights actually get broken there as well, which is pretty bad. That being said, excuse me, Scourge Runner Chariots are relatively free for the moment, but this pocket collapsing right here, these Sisters of Singing Doom and these other units all getting hammered for the Dark Elves. Oh man, that's really, really nasty. Look at those Questing Knights, just barely got in range there. They can swing up and around here with these Questing Knights, start to pressure these maybe. It looks like they're actually going to try and bail out the Grail Knights rather than pressuring the Scourge Runner Chariots, but Lewin has stayed in this fight for quite a long time. He's starting to take some pretty significant damage now from Malice. Malice still has not popped its Sarkhan form. He's been able to regenerate a lot of that damage. More Questing Knights being taken down there. So far, pretty even wash on both sides. Sisters of Singing Doom there. Dread Spears. Let's see. Questing Knights. Yeah, Scourge Runner Chariots. Everything should be relatively secure in that pocket there as they kind of push those Bretonnian forces away. Likewise, Lewin's having a hard time getting back up in the air, but here comes some Grail Knights and some Questing Knights going to be able to screen him out. Yeah. Slaanesha's Harvesters obviously will take quite a bit of shock damage from that magic, but it looks like those Grail Knights actually getting enraged by the Witch Elves don't actually get that much damage in return. I'm surprised how little damage those guys are actually doing right there. That is very unfortunate. Lewin does manage to catch this Death Sorceress up in the air. Oh, that's bad. Bad news for her. She takes a couple of nasty hits. Looks like she may be able to get away, though. If we look over here, I think this fight is pretty much still a wash kind of on both sides. This right here could be pretty decisive if these Knights can catch up. The issue is right now with Chariots, they can't actually get pinned by heavy cavalry. Like, they can pull through units of heavy cavalry just fine. So you can see, like, these cav units are going to be able to actually get into contact here. But if Crabbling notices, pulls away with those Ravagers, yeah, see, they're not going to be able to get pinned in by heavy cavalry whatsoever, which is a little bit rough. Those Scourge Runners still having all their unit models online is going to be pretty key in this late game here. And you see how Lewin gets kind of surrounded here. He gets Word of Pain. He's now going to get charged by Malice, who's got Aspect of Dread Knight active to give himself immune to Psychology, more or less. And Sisters of Singing Doom. Nope, regular Witch Elves. Demon's Curse also on him for negative melee defense, so yeah, Lewin's taking a beating right now, and if Lewin actually routs here, then obviously he's going to stop regenerating. He has quite a bit of healing cap space left, and that should be, yep, I think that's probably going to be GG for Bretonnia. He even gets rear charged there by the Ravagers of Rakarth. He might just get straight finished off here. Will he shatter? It doesn't look like he's quite shattered, but losing out on that regeneration is massive. That being said, I mean, the Bretonnians still have some forces over here they could potentially rally together. There's just nothing really that can finish off these Scourge Runner chariots. Yeah, with Lewin being gone and these knights being gone, those Scourge Runner chariots are basically immortal. You can see that the Tsarkan summon going to be popped there. That puts a huge spike on the balance of power. Crabling just immediately going for the throat here, and that actually triggers army losses. Wow, that huge balance of power spike triggers army losses just from the Tsarkan summon alone. I don't know if I've ever seen that happen, but yeah. Yeah, that was impressive. This is generally perceived to be a tough matchup for the Dark Elves, right? I would say in most people's eyes, the Bretonnians have good matchup against all of the Elves, but the Scourge Runner Chariots obviously make a huge difference in this matchup. Both of these units providing that nice DPS just consistently across the line here. All these expensive cavalry units kind of get crumped on in that way. And then Lewin just getting caught out a couple times by Malice was able to get some damage in on him. And it just wasn't quite enough. So yeah, Crabling coming in with the score there. Goes up 1-0 on the series. Yeah, that's interesting. That's really interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that. Whoops, I gotta switch those around. I mean, I've seen people do that with the Beastman summons, but I don't think I've ever seen someone do that with the Tsarkan summon. That's interesting. Just back break the balance of power. Just crack his back real quick. Oh, good. Turin started his stream 15 minutes early. That's fantastic. What is this tournament that Turin's running, by the way? I don't know if I know anything about this. Is this just an ECL? I don't even know. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see what Turin's up to. Oh no, Turin hasn't started his stream yet. You blaspheme. You lie. I see Lore Master of Sotek is streaming, but you lie. Sponsored faction tournament? Okay, interesting. So he must have found a sponsor somewhere? I guess I should probably change the map here. Let's do... Oh. Oh. Oh yeah, the Puppies vs. Kittens Kickstarter. Yeah, Shadow Online Gaming's Kickstarter. Yeah. Okay. That's right. That's right. For some reason I was thinking it was, okay. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I saw that he was, he made that video, but I didn't know that that was necessarily Shadow Online Gaming's Kickstarter. That's super cool. I'll have to check that out. I must have missed that one. But anyway, we're here on the Burial Mound of Grootsnick. It's going to be Norsca versus Greenskins, so it should be a fairly straightforward kind of heads-up 1v1 match here. So... oh man. Oh, jeez. Oh, this high elf build. Fireborn, Silver Helms, we've got Illyrian Reaver Archers, and Dragon Princes and Silver Helms. We've got 1 unit of Spearmen on the side, 1 unit of Spearmen way up on top of the hill just for model count purposes. We've also got, Star Dragon and Larry L. So Elftonia, full-on Elftonia. Those Greenskins look like High Elves. They do. You know, I thought it was Greenskins. Oh no, he banned Greenskins. That's right. Yes. He banned Greenskins. That's interesting. I don't know. I guess it kind of makes sense. Norsca does have a pretty tough matchup against Greenskins, but as for the Norscan army here, we've got a whole bunch of Marauder Horsemen, a Mammoth, Wulfric on the Mammoth. We've got Miststalkers, some more Famir Warriors, regular Famir Warriors, yep. No great weapons there. We've got Balefiend and some Champs, or regular Marauders up front. So this is going to be interesting. All of these heavy cavalry against all of these Famir, and in particular, Dragon Princes get hard countered by Famir. So, Greenskin in spirit. Oh, okay. He's sponsoring the prize pool for that tournament. Okay. That's super cool. Good for Shadow, man. Good for him. Great. Shadow's a great dude, so he really deserves the best. Oop. Are we going to see a breath attack? I feel like this Star Dragon wants to get a breath attack in here, but it looks like we get a nice charge. The Famir do manage to block that relatively effectively. Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma responded with an Earthblood there, healing up some of those cav. Those Dragon Princes probably don't want to stay online for too long, but it does look like we're going to see a boat coming through to apply that Frostbite. Does apply Frostbite. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage, though. Unfortunately, that doesn't look like they're going to be able to be caught, but this unit of Dragon Princes is taking quite a bit of Overwatch fire from these Marauder Horsemen here. Meanwhile, the Illyrian Reaver Archers... yeah, they're doing some okay damage. They have good light targets to shoot at. They don't have that great of light targets to shoot at. Like, there's no Berserkers or anything really expensive here. But, nice hit and run charge here from these Silver Helms on the side. This is basically going to be Crabling's MO, is to try and hit and run kind of kite style play this here. He does have to be careful not to take a ton of shock damage, though, on these Dragon Princes. Another nice little Earthblood there. Lariel comes down. He's able to screen out. Start to break some of these Marauder Horsemen, using some nice force concentration here, although he has to be careful not to get pinned in up against these Famir Warriors. You can see the Reaver Archers coming up and around. The Fireborn also potentially can get a rear charge in here and just wreck some of these Famir Warriors, but it looks like they actually get charged instead on the side there. Fight or die on those Famir Warriors for some extra... oh, this is bad. This is potentially really bad. Wulfric gets charged? Nope. Well, looks like Lariel was fighting in there, but then the Star Dragon just VTOLs down in there to actually fight Wulfric mano-a-mano. This is potentially a good situation, but look at this heavy cavalry. This is very bad for Crabling, getting a lot of these Dragon Princes just completely wrecked here. The Silver Helms as well. I was kind of questioning, even the Fireborn, the heavy cavalry just struggles so hard against Famir, and even if you're able to clear out all of the infantry support, you still... Just because Dragon Princes have pretty poor HP values, you're going to struggle against Famir. We'll see, though. Nice breath attack going to be used on Wulfric. Didn't make that great a contact, but it does some damage. Now the Star Dragon is going to come down once more. Obviously, with the Star Dragon and the Lariel still healthy, they can do a lot of heavy lifting. So even if a lot of the heavy cavalry gets dealt with, still should be okay. A nice Shield of Thorns there, or Earthblood rather. Continuing to get some healing on the Silver Helms, making sure the Star Dragon stays sustained as well. Try saying that 5 times fast. Over here, it looks like the Fireborn were able to get loose. They're starting to clean up some of these Marauder Horsemen, these other mobile units there, so that's pretty nice. Reaver Archers also kind of getting loose here and using their bow attacks to try and clean out some of the support. So although things did look very rough initially for the High Elves, Crabling's starting to pull ahead here. You can see Wulfric has taken a lot of damage, and the Star Dragon's still very healthy, so some very key engagements there. Let's see how the Fireborn and the rest of the heavy cavalry can do if they can kind of sweep up a lot of these supporting units and then come start trying rear charging this blob here. You can see the Star Dragon and Alariel both disengage. They're going to try and probably reunify with some of these heavy cav units and start to clean up, like this pocket right here, for example. This unit of Famir and these Marauders, if he can get the Dragon, Alariel, come reunify with the Fireborn, like charge the Fireborn in here, then charge the Dragon in on the side, charge Alariel in, he can get this isolated unit of Famir, and then that's basically the MO, right, is that he just needs to do that multiple times, clean up multiple units like that. But this Famir, I mean, it's not completely isolated. It does have this unit of Marauders for support. You can see the Fireborn, they come in, they get a pretty decent charge. It's okay. The Dragon support is maybe a little bit late here from the Star Dragon. The Fireborn did take some maybe unnecessary damage there, but the Star Dragon now comes down, and the Famir are going to start to be dealt with. Yeah, they probably will get terrified away there. Meanwhile, the rest of Felcon's force doing a good job of staying tight, but again, any units that get isolated here, the key is to just get them terrified away, clean them up, you know, with multiple units just like this. A great force concentration from Crabling. Drops a nice Star of Averlorn here as well to heal up some of those Silver Helms, and of course the Fireborn, being a very expensive, high-value unit, could get some good healing also. Norskins are starting to come through. Looks like the Reavers kind of come in to block their charge a little bit, while the healing didn't quite get the full proc of that healing, which is a little bit painful, but a nice breath attack comes in. I'm not sure exactly who that hit, who that was targeting, I should say, but still got some pretty decent contact regardless. These Silver Helms come in on the side and kind of impact those Smear Warriors here. We're getting multiple charges from multiple angles, which is exactly what we need to see. Alariel herself comes down kind of on top of this ledge here. Overcasts and Earthblood. Does miscast herself a little bit there, but the Star Dragon also comes down to try and deal with Wulfric. Is this going to be it? Crabling coming in for the massive try and kind of finishing blow here, try and finish things off. The Silver Helms, the Fireborn are here. It looks like we do see a boat that comes through. Probably going to finish off those Silver Helms' leadership, but not quite. The Star Dragon actually has Enfeebling Foe, and of course, if it gains a rank while Enfeebling Foe is active, then it actually gets extra stats, right? So a potentially dangerous situation. Wulfric now getting routed off, and the Famir are all of a sudden isolated here. There's just the Famir Balefiend, and Felcon actually withdraws there. Wow! Crabling pulling ahead with the 2-0 so far for the upset there. And how about that, huh? Alariel plus the Elftonia able to sustain, and despite some early losses, you know, stay calm, get some good isolation situations. A great job with the Star Dragon as well, and I'm not sure Felcon, if he remembered because of the bug, but that Enfeebling Foe was potentially actually buffing that Star Dragon. That's fantastic. Yeah, that bug is kind of hilarious and bad. But so basically the bug right now is if you gain an experience chevron while your units have a buff, melee, it only works for melee attack and defense, but if they gain a chevron while they have a buff or debuff active, it'll like apply the opposite effect, right? So for example, if you have Enfeebling Foe, like there, like the Star Dragon gained a rank, and then when Enfeebling Foe wore off, it gave the stats, like it gave plus, you know, 24 attack and defense or whatever, right? So so it only happens when it has to happen while a buff or debuff is active on a unit. It has to gain a rank. And so if you think about High Elves, like a lot of their units have martial prowess or martial mastery, so if they gain a rank while that's active, they're actually going to get a debuff. But in that situation, since Felcon was using Enfeebling Foe on the Star Dragon, then yeah. Well, you say Shadows is an unlucky pick. What you do right now, because of that bug, is you actually, instead of taking Enfeebling Foe, you take Occam's Mind Razor, and you buff Weapon Strength, because, of course, Weapon Strength, and basically all the other stats, it's only attack and defense that are impacted by it, so it's just something to be aware of. Yes. Exactly. Exactly, Crystal Methodist. Exactly. It like that along that we've had some funny bugs recently. Like, yeah, it's probably a little bit frustrating. Like, it probably cost. I don't know if it necessarily cost Velcon the game right there, but it impacted that game certainly. But buffs or debuffs, yeah. In Soviet Russia, buff debuffs you. uh. Lore of debuff, lore of buff. Yeah, this patch has had some of the funniest bugs, like the campaign like wandering vampires bug. Like Vlad and Kemmler and even Manfred just like somehow like crawling their way through the Badlands, just broken. They just suddenly ending up in the Tomb King's lands with like two units left with like 3 unit models each. Just everyone's dead. Oh man, it's fantastic. in campaign, Vlad or Kemmler will just like show up in the like they'll go to the Tomb King's lands. Like they will go on a journey to the Tomb King's lands. Vlad the Vagrant. Yeah, Manfred. It happens to Manfred. You can sometimes it'll happen with Kemmler. Kemmler's the best because he doesn't actually take attrition damage. So sometimes you can actually like fight his stack to get his trait. But yeah, from what I understand, it was because of the Tomb King's armies tend to generate like massive corpse piles for them to summon units from, and for some reason the vampire counts just like realized that they really like that, or that they think they do. Anyway. Let's get back to the game at hand. For Skaven here, we've got Rattling Guns, 2 units of Giselles, 3 units of Rat Ogres, plenty of Skaven Slave Spears, and some Clan Rats. We've got some Plague Monks as well. For Falcon, we've got some Skeleton Horsemen Archers. Very good choice here. He's got some Nehekara Horsemen, 2 Kitties, 2 War Sphinxes, and looks like we've also got Cetra on the Chariot, so a lot of heavy-hitting units there. Some slow infantry over here, just a bunch of Skeleton Warriors in a line, more or less. But Falcon getting pretty aggressive right off the bat with this flanking force here. He's got these Skeleton Archers. One of the units is just about picked off already, but the Rattling Guns are in a position to open up. You can see the Warp Grinders also in a position here to make sure these guys stay pinned in place with that hard snare if they can. But for the time being, just the Rattling Guns mowing down this Cameroon War Sphinx there. It probably could actually switch targets onto Cetra himself. But it looks like the Giselles are starting to pick at him. We do have a lot of these cavalry starting to come through. They're going to try and get on those Natty Bubo sharpshooters. The Rat Ogres are doing their best, but there's just a few too many units for them to protect against. Meanwhile, over here, this unit of Rat Ogres, it's actually okay. It isn't going to intercept some Nehekara horsemen over there, so that's just fine. Unfortunately, it looks like the Rattling Guns got compromised here, took a ton of damage from those Nehekara horsemen, weren't quite able to take down the constructs there. Meanwhile, over here, Rat Ogres and other units kind of securing a little bit of a pocket here. Those Natty Bubo sharpshooters can continue firing at high-value targets. Looks like they're going to focus on that Cameroon War Sphinx that's already pretty low. That's a good choice. The rest of the Tomb King units in the front line obviously getting completely just mowed down. The Plague Monks, no problem cutting through. Skeleton Warriors, obviously. The question is, can the rest of the high-value units for the Skaven weather the storm? Skrull comes through. Looks like that Cameroon War Sphinx is not quite finished off yet. We'll get a nice Bless with Filth here to give some poison to everyone, and we're going to get another Clan Rat summon as well. The Clan Rats and Plague Monks all summoned up there, doing a good job kind of holding out, but Natty Boobles all of a sudden are in a situation where they're a little bit exposed here. They can get ridden down by these Nehekara Horsemen. We'll see. Nehekara Horsemen in the back did manage to get loose and come after these Warplock Giselles. Will probably be able to chase them off. But there's still quite a few units over here. We still got plenty of Plague Monks, still got some Warp Grinders as well. The Rat Ogres running around are going to be a big problem also in the late game here for the Tomb Kings. Yeah, Tomb Kings are maybe running out of steam a little bit here. Rod of Corruption obviously not going to do a lot to the single targets, but it will probably finish off those Nehekara Horsemen. The Plague Monks also coming in. Nice little explosion there. Does a little bit to the rat ogres. But Cetra's in a dangerous situation. You can see there's kind of this house right here. These rat ogres don't have quite a full surround on him, but they are kind of preventing him from maneuvering around very effectively. So if the other rat ogres come in and get like a full surround on Cetra, maybe Skrulk could also come in and try and finish him off. This secondary War Sphinx is still alive somehow, though. Things are not looking great for the Skaven on the leadership front as they start to run out of steam a little bit there. The Shabdi summon is going to put the balance of power slightly in favor of the Tomb Kings, and a nice terror route here is going to leave Skrulk somewhat exposed in the middle of these War Sphinxes. A Liber Bubonicus on the one War Sphinx, though, just to make sure it gets finished off here. That will be enough to send it into crumbling and actually, yep, finish it off there. So one big monster down. They still has Cetra, plus the other War Sphinx is still completely healthy, which is a huge, huge problem, obviously, for Skrulk Boy. The Plague Monks not having any good anti-large. They're obviously an anti-infantry unit going to get routed off here. There still are some Skeleton Horseman Archers as well firing in. They can do nice, cost-effective damage to those Plague Monks. But we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be pretty close here, and the Sushabdi summon's just about worn away. And Cetra gives a bit of healing for himself, that incantation of Cursed Blades, as he takes some hits from Lord Skrulk there. But yeah, once that Shabdi summon's done, which it is very close to being done, that should help a little bit. But this secondary War Sphinx, I think, just this one that's completely healthy here. I don't see how Skrulk is going to be able to finish this boy off, unfortunately. He is just one little sad rat boy, and even if he were to finish off Cetra, which is highly unlikely here, yeah, it looks like Skrulk's leadership is about to give out in and of itself. He does pop standing ground to be able to hold out there. But, yeah. We'll see. He does get the Clan Rat summon off before he gets routed there, but with him getting routed, that is going to be a significant dent on the balance power. Cetra can probably chase him off now. But it looks like we're going to have a series. Falcon able to claw his way back, you know, having taken a couple of big punches here, able to punch back with the Tomb Kings there. And yeah, we've got a series on our hands, folks. We have got a series. And so there we go. Now I need to get another map queued up here. Let's go with Glacial Lake. How about that? Let's have some fun. Looks like Falcon is going with the okay, interesting. So Falcon going, since he can't ban the same faction twice, he's going no ban, and Crabling then picks into the Greenskins. So yeah, we're going on Glacial Lake. Greenskins versus Lizardmen, and oh yeah, Wicked. I don't know if you're still collecting data for the picks and bans, but just to quickly go over the picks and bans with you all, because I know some of you are interested. So for the first round, Crabling picked... Oh, what did he pick? I'd have to go back and actually check. But it was Dark Elves, and he banned High Elves and Wood Elves. Then he got Bretonnia. Just seems like he kind of picked around Bretonnia, tried to pick into it a little bit. Then Falcon picked Norsca, banned Greenskins and Chaos. Crabling then picked Skaven and banned Vampire Pirates. So now, Greenskins versus Lizardmen. So it should be interesting. Current stream is on. Yep. Yeah, I saw they are going. I'm going to pull that up here on the side so I can keep track of where they're going. Awesome, yeah. So it looks like they've got some games to play in the meantime, so we should have plenty of time to finish things up here. We've just got, I mean, max 2 more games left here, right? So... yes, indeed. It's time, Lizardmen versus Greenskins. Hey, what's up, Vince? We're here, Glacial Lake. This is game 4 between Crabling and Falcon. Can Crabling ice things? Get it? Get it? Ice things? Ha 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 ha. Never mind. Okay. Armies are loaded in now, so I can focus on something real. We've got Savage Orcs here. 4 Savage Orcs, probably, I would imagine. A couple of Gobos. We've got some Orc, Boy, Biggins, Wurzag, plus a Giant, Durkits, Squigs, and Nasty Skulkers. So, yeah, basically the same build that we saw Crabling bring against Gobbo's Slayer. Falcon's build is a little bit different, though. He's got his trademark Ark of Sotek. Whole bunch of Saurus warriors here. Looks like Mazdamundi. We've got a couple of Pterodon riders up in the air. 3 of the regular ones. Mazdamundi and the Thunderous one. So a very straightforward build. It's a very straightforward map. So let's get straight to it. Lizards charging in. The Ark of Sotek obviously is the most OP unit in the game here. Yeah, I apologize. Here comes the Ark of Sotek, though. It's going to charge in. Will it use its snake poop immediately on these Savage Orcs, or will it... maybe not. The Wa being popped, though, at a very opportune time as those Savage Orcs charge in. The AP Gloons as well going to come in, do a ton of damage right on that approach. Here come the Nasty Skulkers. They're going to come in, saturate on this Ark of Sotek. Likewise, Wurzag himself comes in also. Looks like a bunker bust from Mazdamundi, though. Here comes that Ruination of Cities. Oh, man, just completely deletes 3 of those units. Or 2, rather. Both the units of Greenskins infantry. So that's a little bit rough. But nonetheless, Wurzag plus the Giant coming over to deal with the Ark of Sotek. Obviously, Crabling knows... he knows in his heart of hearts that this Ark of Sotek is the most dangerous unit on the field. So he comes over to clean its clock with the Giant immediately. Durkit Squigs in the front line having a pretty tough time of it. Likewise, the Savage Orcs, they had matched up relatively well against these Saurus initially, but now coming in with the Terror. Obviously, Mazdamundi gets a nice Terror route on them, so they get terrified away. Over on this far side here, you can see the Goblins also, and the Orc War Biggins having some leadership issues as well. But maybe these Skulkers can come in. They still have tons of their unit models left, so potentially, and it does look like the Ark of Sotek has been beaten down by the Savage Greenskins. So, you know, F's in the chat for the OP Ark of Sotek. It came in, it got 1 snake drop, 15 kills, very OP, obviously. Meanwhile, over here, the Thunderous one just marauding in the back line, charging to and fro, getting tons and tons of damage on all these various units here. Foot of Gork comes in, gets a pretty good amount of damage on those Saurus warriors, and Effigy to get also, as these Orc Boar Boys come in, they get a decent charge on Mazdamundi. Mazdamundi is a thick boy, though. He's got a lot of HP. Likewise, the Giant is also coming over. He does have Curse of the Midnight Wind, which, again, could potentially lead to some shenanigans with chevrons. But so far, the Giant... looks like it actually wore off before he was able to get anything impactful. A nice Brain Burst there to do a little bit of extra HP, and now comes the real monster fight. Bounce power slightly in the Lizardmen's favor as they are able to keep a lot of these routing units routing with those Pterodon Riders, so excellent use of the Pterodon Riders there. Durkit Squigs come in, they're going to make sure that Ark of Sotek doesn't come back from routing, but a lot of the Greenskins units should be rallying together here, and with this Giant, you know, unless he gets 2v1'd by the 2 Bastillodons here, he should be able to get some good work done. It looks like the Giant unfortunately had a movement order rather than an attack order there on Mazdamundi, And yeah, Wurzag has to be very, very careful not to get absolutely deleted by Mazdamundi here. Mazdamundi with a high charge bonus, 70 charge bonus up on Slock, is able to come in, get some really good contact and terrify away Wurzag there. Another Ruination of Cities comes in, does a little bit of friendly fire, doesn't do a whole lot of damage to enemies in general, but yeah, this is the bad situation for the Giant. Getting pinned in between these two Stegodons is basically how he can lose it out here. Harmonic Convergence as well on the Thunderous one with its 480 weapon strength. It should be able to get some good damage on the Giant there. Pokes his ankles, and look at that horn placement. I mean, look at that horn placement. You know that is extremely uncomfortable for that Giant. I mean, oh man. It's like a consistent nut shot right there with the level that horn is at. So that'll make it a 2-2. Can Falcon take it back? We have a full-on 5-game series, which is kind of hilarious because both these guys needed to go for another tournament. But alright, so we're going to finish things up on a Stallion Tomb. That will be the final map for the day, and this is going to be the final game of the grand final, so it's the final of the final of the final. Yeah, right, Triceratops. Looks like Crabling's going for the Chaos, and will he ban? I don't know if he will ban anything. Let's see. Ban coming in, bans Empire. Okay, so Falcon not able to take the Empire, but Stegosaurus, the Bastiladon, yeah. Yep, they are dinosaurs. They are indeed. It's kind of interesting, the Stegodon, Triceratops. Right? That would have been cool. Chaos versus Empire for the grand final. Instead, we get Dark Elves versus Chaos. Ooh, so spooky and edgy. Oh. Alright. Alright, alright. And it looks like they still haven't even gotten through one full game there. that last game was really fast, so that was okay. Checking back in, if we have a look over at Turin's stream, we can see that the Empire is currently fighting the High Elves. I want to say Soothsayer's Empire. He's got Volkmar the Grim fighting the High Elves, the Zablaski. So that's a good matchup over there. Definitely will have to catch that one after my stream's over. Oh man, he has a Hellstorm too, and it used up most of its ammo. What happened? Clearly, I'm going to need to go back and watch that match between Sooth and Zablaski there, but yeah. Hey, what's up, Shadow? This guy. Yeah, borrowed, yep. Yeah, you can't trademark a scientific name of a dinosaur, right? Oh, it's a best of one tourney. Okay, okay. Well, it's good that that was a long match then. And okay. So, Lokier incoming. Yeah, I would imagine. I would imagine. Next level casting another game on another channel. Yeah, straight up. Okay. So now for the final of the grand final, Crabling versus Falcon. Crabling coming in with the Warriors of Chaos. He's got Sarthrel, the Everwatcher, and some Chaos Marauders with great weapons. Chosen. Interesting. Shielded Chosen. We've also got some Poison Warhounds and a couple of Horse Masters as well. 4 of each. As for the Dark Elves, got a whole bunch of Dread Spears, Blades of the Blood Queen here, Bleak Swords, and some filthy crossbow repeaters, as well as 2 Black Dragons. One of them is Malekith. So very heavy with the Sky Force here. And Chicken OP, probably. We'll see. The double Black Dragon is a pretty strong pick here, but this is just a strong Chaos Army in general. The Chosen in particular are very, very good picks. Shielded Chosen are just super, super strong. They're up to 73 melee defense with gold chevrons. Wow, triple gold chevron Chosen. 73 melee defense, 57 melee attack, and what is that? Yeah, 44 weapon strength. These guys are basically all heroes. Like individually, right? Just about. So that is absolutely massive. We're gonna get a huge pitched engagement over here as the hounds come in to get on these Dark Riders. Dark Riders coming in to countercharge and break the charge here, but it does look like that draws Malekith over onto the ground here potentially. He can get stepped on now. These Chaos Marauders taking a lot of damage here, but Big Bird charges in. Is going to use a Plague of Rust or anything on Malekith? It doesn't look like it. Just come in for a quick hit and run charge, and now using those Marauder Javelins to do a ton of damage. Probably would have liked to have seen a Plague of Rust there, but it looks like was not used at the appropriate time, unfortunately. The infantry fight is going a little bit of a mixed bag here. Blades of the Blood Queen matched up on those Gold Chevron Chosen. You can see with Standard Eye, they're up to 97 melee defense. They're actually holding up very well against those Blades of the Blood Queen there, but it looks like Breath Attack being used on those Golden Chosen as well. Should be able to get some good damage and some beautiful friendly fire on those Bleak Swords over on the far side there, but some mobile pressure here, able to eat up the melee Dark Riders, and now the missile Dark Riders as well at a pretty big risk of getting eaten up by hounds. The Horse Masters could also come and support that engagement as well. Looks like a final transmutation upgraded being used here. Not really sure about the placement of that. It's against all these multi-model units, but I guess taking out the Blades of the Blood Queen, you know, killing off as many of their unit models as possible is a worthy sacrifice, so to speak. Mobile pressure from the Dark Elves, though, now coming through. Here comes the Dark Riders. They're going to get a good charge on those Marauder Horse Masters. Thankfully, of course, Horse Masters have good enough stats that they're not immediately going to fall over in that fight. And Big Bird actually gets a terror route on the Blades of the Blood Queen there, and some of these other units as well. The Chosen are able to hold out. This other unit of Chosen, 59 left. They've literally only lost a single unit model in this entire battle. So those Golden Chosen should be able to hold out okay. Meanwhile, over here, looks like the Hounds are able to come support the Horse Masters. Horse Masters now pulling away, able to come back and get some good potential Overwatch fire. The Dragons both being completely healthy is a little bit of a problem as well. Looks like those Blades of the Blood Queen did come back from being terrified. But a lot of Dark Riders with repeater crossbows, a lot of ammo left on them. They can potentially deal with the Chosen, the Shielded Chosen here, but you know, likewise, the Shielded Chosen 60% missile block chance means that they are going to be one of the more resilient units to that. Some more beautiful friendly fire from that Dragon Breath coming in and hitting Malekith mostly only, but another final transmutation going to be going down. Yep, another Overcast final transmutation here. Or no, a Soul Stealer, in fact. Going to be used on the Warriors of Chaos here, doing some pretty good damage. Both these units are Chosen, all of a sudden getting much lower now. This one unit that was completely healthy came in, kind of got wrecked by those dragons there a little bit. I'm very surprised, even with that high melee defense, how hard they got wrecked by those dragons, and that is probably going to be game for Falcon, another relatively quick one, but yeah. Those breaths do make me sad inside, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter too much as just the dragons charging down doing enough shock damage. I think the Marauder Horsemen were also able to get, or sorry, the Repeater Crossbows were also able to get some pretty good engagements as well. Yeah, not looking too good for the Warriors of Chaos here. Crabling coming in. And that, yeah, he has no answer for the dragons. Yeah, I think he probably needed to, rather than using the the final transmutation, I definitely would have been Plague of Rusting these dragons. I mean, they only have 80 armor to begin with, so if you give them that Plague of Rust overcast, they're going to be down to only 20 armor. And at that point, I think his non-armor piercing troops would have maybe traded a little bit more effectively, but yeah, he needed some Shaggoths or something. The Dark Rider with Peter Crossbows did some pretty decent work as well. He did a good job of keeping them protected. Craveling invested a lot into that mobile force and didn't actually ended up winning the mobility engagement, which ended up being pretty decisive there. So, sorry about all the shenanigans at the beginning, guys. Apologies about all of that. Took a while to get things rolling, but we were finally able to get things rolling here. And that means, if we go ahead and switch on over to the bracket here, Falcon with a 3-2 score takes the win on the day there. And actually wins the grand final and the entire South Sea Mercenary League. So congratulations to Falcon. Big thanks once again. Sorry again about all the shenanigans at the beginning of the stream, guys, but we got it going. We got this guy free just in time, I think, to go. Yeah, he's still got plenty of time to go fight in Turin's tournament. So GG to both. Big thanks to all of you for joining. Thanks to the dog, the K-Dog 21, for his donation. $10, much appreciated. Yeah, again, sorry about all the shenanigans. It took us a while to get things going, but it was GG's at the end of the day. We had an excellent series, a nice 5-game back and forth. So big thanks once again to all the competitors, everyone who's been joining throughout, and fell off the first 2 games. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys. And I will be lurking in chat on Turin's stream, so be sure to catch me over there. Big thanks once again. Yeah, stay tuned for my announcement on the South Sea Mercenary League Season 2. Should be going up within the next week or so. For those of you channel members and patrons, the poll for my next Mortal Empires campaign is up, so be sure to vote in that if you haven't. Thank you once again for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.